Have you ever spoken to someone and felt like they were listening, but not truly hearing you? As if you were speaking from a deeper frequency, one they couldn't quite tune into? If you're an INFJ, you know exactly what I mean. You're the one who understands everyone, but how many have ever truly understood you? Is there anyone out there who can really see into that quiet, complex inner world of yours? Let's find out. And no, it's not the answer you're expecting. INFJs are often called advocates, mystics, guides. But in everyday life, that title can feel heavy. You're the one others lean on, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. But inside, you're often alone, deeply. Shallow conversations drain you. Surface-level relationships leave you empty. You crave something else. Depth, intimacy, a bond that whispers, "I see who you really are," even when you're silent. But too often, people only see the surface, the calm listener, the emotionally intelligent one, the one who always knows what to say. But no one stops to ask, what do you need? What are you hiding beneath that stillness? Who sees you? Let me show you something. An INFJ starts dating someone. At first, it feels magical. The other person is outgoing, affectionate, expressive. They say, "You understand me like no one else." But slowly, the INFJ starts to fade. The other person demands clarity, constant presence, emotional explanations, and the INFJ can't keep up. Not because they don't care, but because their world moves differently. They're not cold, they're processing, they're overwhelmed by too much noise, too many signals, too little space. And this is where the disconnection begins. Because they're speaking two different cognitive languages. To understand who truly connects with an INFJ, we have to understand how they're wired. INFJs process the world through a deeply internal system. Quiet, layered, symbolic. Their dominant function is introverted intuition. This isn't just abstract thinking. It's a constant scanning for meaning, across time, across symbols, across possibilities. INFJs don't just observe, they foresee. Their auxiliary function is extroverted feeling. It tunes them into others' emotions like a radar. They sense tension before it's even spoken. Often, they become emotional caretakers while hiding their own needs. Next comes their introverted thinking. It gives them quiet precision. They process ideas deeply, refining beliefs through internal logic. You may not see it, but it's always there, working silently in the background. Last, extroverted sensing. Their most unconscious function. It connects them to the present, to action, to what's happening now. And when developed, it grounds them, helps them act, not just envision. Understanding an INFJ means understanding that they rarely reveal everything at once. They unfold, slowly, deliberately. If rushed, they close off, but if seen, they open, like no one else. So, who truly understands them? First, the ENFP, the free spirit. They explore the world with wonder, joy, and heart. They lead with extroverted intuition, jumping between ideas, chasing inspiration. Where the INFJ goes deep, the ENFP goes wide. But both crave meaning. Both are seekers. The ENFP teaches the INFJ to loosen up. The INFJ teaches the ENFP to look within. Together, they create something beautiful. Second, the INTP, the quiet analyst. The detached thinker. They lead with introverted thinking and extroverted intuition. They dissect everything, but never overwhelm. They don't pressure. They observe. And for the INFJ, that mental intimacy, that quiet curiosity, feels safe. Third, another INFJ. Yes, it can work. When two INFJs meet, there's a moment of recognition, a quiet knowing, a shared stillness. They understand each other's moods, thoughts, fears, sometimes without saying a word. But there's a risk, too much introspection, too much emotional absorption. Without grounding, the connection can spiral inward. They must remind each other to stay present, to breathe. Fourth, the ENFJ, the charismatic leader. The mentor. They share the same four cognitive functions as the INFJ, but in reverse order. Where the INFJ reflects, the ENFJ acts. Where the INFJ analyzes, the ENFJ expresses. Together they balance each other. The ENFJ gives voice to the INFJ's vision. The INFJ gives depth to the ENFJ's drive. It's a partnership of purpose, of passion, of powerful alignment. And finally, the INFP, the soul mirror. This bond doesn't explode. It unfolds, like a poem, quiet, layered, sacred. INFJs and INFPs recognize something in each other, not in words, but in presence. In stillness. In the way silence between them feels full. The INFJ leads with vision. The INFP with value. One sees where life is going. The other feels what really matters. Together, they build an emotional sanctuary. The INFJ brings structure to dreams. The INFP brings soul to meaning. The INFJ gives direction. The INFP gives depth. But there are challenges. They both hide pain. They both avoid conflict. They both retreat when overwhelmed. Misunderstandings can build in the quiet, but when they choose honesty, even softly, this bond becomes one of the most intimate spiritual connections possible. Not loud, not dramatic, just sacred. So, who understands the INFJ? Not someone who talks more, not someone who analyzes better, but someone who knows how to sit in silence and feel what's unspoken. INFJs don't need a crowd. They need one person who looks at them and sees everything they're not saying. So tell me, have you ever met someone who made you feel truly understood? Not because they asked the right questions, but because they didn't have to? Share your story in the comments. Save this video for the days when you feel invisible, and send it to someone who truly sees you. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.